There is a good reason why I haven't been able to publish a video in about 2 weeks. I've been tired, exhausted, drained, and I haven't had the energy or the motivation to actually record anything or say anything. And the last few weeks have shown that life doesn't stop, politics doesn't stop, the world keeps spinning, and actually sometimes we have to prioritise what we're doing, and for me that hasn't been this, which is fine, I think. But I've also worried about what I'm trying to say, and last week I tried to record something that didn't quite sit right, so I didn't want to publish it because it wasn't the right time to do so. This week's episode is not going to focus on politics because not a lot has changed. It's also not going to focus on the LGBT plus queer education issues that we're seeing in Birmingham and now across the country, because again, there's not much else to say right now. Though I will say, on Saturday I did go to the Put It to the People march, and you may see the placard behind me. It was a positive march, it was full of energy, it was full of a can-do attitude. We can change this, we can hold our parliament and our government to account for their ineffectiveness on Brexit. And we can demand a final say, because democracy doesn't stop at the ballot box. It continues and it evolves. And on LGBT plus education, queer education, this is the only thing I will say. If you have a kid, or even if you don't have a kid, spend this week, find some time, write to your MP, write to your school, and show support for LGBT plus queer education for your kids. It is so important that that education is given so that people don't have to go through the same sort of thing that I did, thousands of kids like me did, because queer and LGBT plus identity is valid. And fundamentally, it is not teaching 6-year-olds about sex. In the last week, I've written about a experience of anxiety I suffered on Tuesday. That wasn't caused by one thing, it was caused by multiple things. And I think it's because we live in a world where social media is so key. Everything is so saturated, it's so glossy, it's so professional. And sometimes we need respite from that. And that probably is also why I haven't found time to make this video. On social media, we don't see the mundane, we don't see the upset, the sad, the lives as they truly are. Instead, we see endless images as we scroll of people with beautiful physiques smiling and holding products that they're trying to sell. And that's not a criticism on these creators, but it's not real. I've suffered from mental health issues for arguably my whole life, though I remember it was my second year of university when it came to the surface, and I had my first experience of understanding depression, I suppose. Thankfully, when my mental health does go down, it's normally sporadic and mild, it's not too intense, but I find myself walking to the Thames with my notebook, or going for a run, or even ringing a friend. But these images, this understanding that mental health, life in general, isn't one positive, doesn't fit within the Instagram platform or the Twitter platform. People don't celebrate their down days. After my last video on LGBT plus education, someone I spoke with asked me why I had published something where I was crying, where I was vulnerable. And that's interesting because crying on camera is something that they saw as a weakness, but I see as a strength now. This week, when I had my slight episode of anxiety, I phoned my brother. Anxiety is that feeling of being overwhelmed, but it doesn't have the positive connotation of being excited or having adrenaline. It lacks that. And so it just feels like you're lost, that you have nowhere to start, you don't know where to begin. And that's really why I wanted to do this video, is to say that actually life isn't all roses. It's tough, it's tiring. I am tired at the moment, 24/7. Every time I speak to a friend, they say, "How are you?" And legitimately, I say, "I'm tired." It starts to worry me when the response is, "You say that every time," but it's true. I'm learning that you can have days where you can stay in bed all day, and that's great. You can have days when you binge watch Netflix cartoons, and that's valid. You can have days when getting up and having a coffee with a friend is a perfectly acceptable way to waste away a Sunday afternoon. The real reason I wanted to make this video though is to tell you, because I need the reminder as well, it's okay to stop. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to wallow and to feel down. The important thing is that you pick yourself back up when you can, and you keep being the wonderful people that I know you are. Thank you for watching another episode of me just talking to you. I think it's really important that we talk about mental health and we talk about the negatives and the positives of our lives. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you find it interesting, and I hope that you like it. I hope that we talk about mental health in a much more positive way, to accept that these things do happen. It's okay to have a day that you feel down. If you would like, subscribe and share it, that would be awesome. And I can't really remember what else I was supposed to say, but I hope you have a wonderful week, and as ever, thank you.